Hello there. So one of the followers asked to make a video about duplicating views and applying filters to them. So here we are. I have opened this project that I think everyone has it. You can apply this to any project of yours. I'm working with this one for now, and I have this first level. Okay, so, and I have created a, where is it? I have created a template here, which is, I called it my new template. There is nothing special in there. I just changed the colors of the floors, the furniture, and the wall projection and cut. All right. So I'm just gonna try to duplicate this first level and apply a filter to it, and maybe change also the name or give a name to the new duplicated view. So I have imported the DB library and imported from there the filtered element collector as FEC. So I'm just going to use it as this. And I also imported the transaction and assigned T to it, as we do always. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is collect the views. All right, so I'm just gonna say views equals to FEC, which is the filtered element collector, and I'm gonna pass the document in here, and I'm gonna say of class, and the class that I'm gonna use is view. So the name of the class, you can get it from here. So you can say view, and you see the name of the class is view. So I'm just gonna open it because we are going to need it. So let's go back to the Python shell in here. So view, and then I'm gonna say dot where element is not element type. So where element is not element type, great. And this is a method, and I'm gonna say two elements. So here we can print this to see what do we have so far. So print views, let's hit this. So you can see that I have collected, so I have collected something in here. Or wait a minute, this is a method. This is a method. So let's run this again. You can see I have an array, a list. I have a list of elements of all the views that you can see in here in the project browser. Okay, now what am I gonna do is actually I need to get the this view, and also I need to get the template view. So just to visualize that, I'm just gonna say, just take a look at that. So I'm just gonna say for view in views, and I'm gonna print the view dot name, and this is a property of views. They have names, so you can see in here. You can find the property called name in here. So this is not capital, and we can take a look at them from here, and you can see my new template is also in here. So I need to get this level 1 view with the name of level 1, and the view with this name, my new template. All right, so I'm just gonna create basically a function. So I'm gonna say define get view, let's call it by name, and I'm gonna pass two arguments. I need to pass the name of the view and also the list of the views. Okay, and the reason why I'm using a function is because I'm gonna use this same thing twice, so maybe it could be a good practice to just create a function that does the thing. So the function is going to take a view name, and the second argument is views. What it's going to do is actually it's going to iterate through these views and try to find. So it's gonna try to find if view dot name equals this view name, this view name that we have here, the argument that we're going to pass as a string. If this is true, then what it's going to do, it's going to return this view simply. Okay, so let's try this out. So I'm just gonna say get view by name, and I'm gonna give it the view name. So we said level 1 and the list of views, and I can print this. So let's see. So there is yeah, so I forgot here the 2 dots. There you go. So this is a view that I got from here. I can say name just to take a look at it if this is the same one. So yeah, this is the first level. Great. So what am I going to do now is I'm going to assign this to a variable called view that I'm going to use later on, and I'm going to do the exact same thing here. So let's jump in here, and the name that I'm going to use in here is this my new template. So I'm just gonna copy this one over here, and I'm gonna say that this is a template. So great. Now what we need to do is actually create a try except statement. If you don't know what is this, I have recently created a video about this. So I'm just gonna start the transaction using tstart, the variable that I have assigned in here. So I'm just gonna say tstart, and I'm going to use a method that we can find in here to duplicate the view. So let's go to D, and it's somewhere in here. Yeah, this is the one. So duplicate the view. So we put the view dot duplicate, and here we need to pass options, and options is just an enumeration. We need to type view duplicate options dot one of these members. You can just type dot duplicate. What am I going to do is duplicate with detailing to get all the details. All right, so I'm just gonna copy this one over to avoid writing everything. So I'm gonna call this variable duplicated view, and it's going to return an element ID. This is going to be an element ID. You can see from here, this is the type is element ID. So I can call it ID in here, and I'm just gonna say that this is the view, this one, level 1, the view that I'm going to duplicate, dot duplicate, and I'm going to open and close parentheses, and the argument, as we said, is view duplicate options dot what was the exact member? Yeah, so let's just copy this one to avoid making mistakes. So with detailing, there you go. And now once I got the view ID, I created a new one with this method. So I can now assign a name to it. So I can just say, or first of all, before assigning the name, I need to get the view itself, because here I have the ID. So to retrieve the new view, or the duplicated view, we can call it, You know what, let's be consistent. Let's just copy this one over here without the ID, and I'm gonna say the duplicated view ID. What am I going to do with this is this is an ID, as I said, so I'm going to use this method dot get element. I hope this is the one. So get element to get the actual element using this ID. Okay, let's jump to the next one and just copy this again, and I'm going to give it a name now. I'm going to call it let's call it duplicated view level 1. Okay, and the last thing is, so now we have duplicated everything, all the view that we are interested in. The last thing is how to apply templates. All right, so let me go back in here. We have a method called just here, apply view template parameters, and it takes a view. So let me just copy this one over again to avoid mistakes. So I'm just gonna say duplicated view I hope I'm not mistaken in here. Yes, so dot apply template parameters, and I'm going to apply which view? I'm going to apply this view template. All right, and now to finish the exception, if there is any problem, error, I'm gonna say E. Again, if you are wondering what am I doing in here, you can watch the video about handling exceptions. So roll back and just print E, which is the error if there is any one. So let's take a look really quickly. So we have collected the views. We have created a function that uses the name of the view which we want to duplicate, and it takes all the list of the views that we have collected in our project. It iterates over the views, and it gets the one with this name that we are going to specify later on, and then it returns the view that matches the criteria. Okay, so and then I used this function twice. I used it the first time to get the view that I'm interested in to duplicate, and I used it the second time to get the view with the template that I want to apply on this duplicated view. And then I have started here, and I have just realized I didn't commit this transaction. So I have started a transaction here to I applied this method that you can find in here in members, which is called duplicate. So you take the view that you want to duplicate and dot duplicate, and you use the options. I used with detailing to get all the details, to get all these details with the view, not just the view itself. You can use just duplicate if you want, or there is also one other member in that enumeration. And then I said that this method returns an ID. So this variable is an ID, is an element ID. So using this ID, I retrieved, or I got the element itself, which is the view that I duplicated, and then that view I gave it a name that you can see is going to appear in here, and is going to appear in here also in the properties section. And then I said duplicated view dot apply. This is another method just to apply a template to it. And then I said if there is any mistake or something, just roll back, don't start, go back to the point before starting the transaction and print the error. So I hope there is no error. Let's hit Okay, and indeed we have something is not defined. Great. So let's take a look at this one. So let's just make sure to copy this one over here and run this one more time, and yeah, it's working. So there must be some kind of typo in there. So you can see duplicated view level 1. So I had to stop recording because let's see what happened. So I'm going to hit start again, and I called it happy view, as you can see in here. So let me close this one and let's go to this happy view. So as you can see, it's the duplicated view, and also I can see the template applied. All right, but the thing is that if we come here, if we come to view template, you can see that is none. And why that happened? That's because the method I used, let's read that again. So I use this apply view template parameters. So it just takes the parameters and apply them to the view without applying the template itself. All right. So I looked it up, and the thing to do that is actually by using this property in here, view template ID. And just to show you how to look this up, if you have such problems, just go to Revit lookup, and I'm selecting this level 1 that I want to duplicate. So I come here and go to current selection. So you can find here all the properties of this element. All right, so I just scrolled down until I found yes, so view template ID null, and as you can see in here on level 1 it's none. Here also, if we go here, we can say that it's also null, as you can see, but the parameters got applied. So if I go now to the to this view in here, you can see that the parameters are applied, but without applying the template itself. So I'm just going to go back, all right, and I'm going to open this one more time, and I'm just gonna copy this right here. By the way, you can just open it from here. And now instead of this, I just put the hashtag to use it as a comment if I need it later on. So now what am I going to do is actually to take this duplicated view, and what am I going to do is to say dot and use this property in here. So I'm going to give it a template ID. So there you go. Let's go back in there. And the ID is gonna be my template dot ID. All right. So let's hit OK and close this. And now let's go to our happy view. As you can see, the properties are here. And also the view template is changed to my new template, as you can see in here. Okay, so I hope this was useful. We can, of course, instead of just one element, which is not really useful in real life, you can maybe create a function that goes through an array of names to which you want to duplicate, for example, or an array of views that you want to apply templates on. So yeah, if you have any other questions, please write them below in the comment section. And thanks for watching, and see you next time.